We went to din, and the Levi asked a question. I gave a teretz, but the mice is with a verse of shot over here, and the קיצור Shulchan Aruch is not clear. So I'm going to show it in the Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, and you'll understand it better. First, let's read over here. Over here it says, "Ein l'sanen shum mashke." You can't filter any mashke. Ki yesh b'zeh kam mechluk adinam. Okay, he says he doesn't go into any details. It's קיצור Shulchan Aruch. He says there's questions about it. Avamot Glishblois.
Oh, it's
no, is this the one?
No, it's Yudches. It's a coffee one.
Oh, it's Yudches. Okay.
Yeah.
The next one. Sorry. Over here he says, Mashke HaKofi. Sheyesh b'tachtisa HaKofi. In other words, mamish. Shehu apsaigus. This is like I explained yesterday, that when if you grind a bean and then you make coffee from it. I'm not talking about the coffee that you buy in the store, but when you grind the bean and then later you put hot water on top of it and let it boil up. So what happens is the hot water extracts the flavor of the coffee, but the dirt of the coffee, so to say, like the ground particles, this remains in the coffee. So you have to filter it. If you want to drink it, you have to filter it. So he's saying over here that that's one example that he gives, and then he said v'chein sham mashke, and also other mashke, like in Shulchan Aruch stated the mashal of wine, and wine has shmorim on the bottom of it. Sheyesh b'tachtisai shmorim, that has the shmorim or shap sagus. So kishmarin oisai, when you pour it, tzrichen rizoeh shrei lares kol hatzolo. You shouldn't pour out the whole pure, the clear water. Ela yashiru ma'at eitzra psagus. Okay, so yesterday we were clearing what this means. So this means that let's say someone has made coffee, and or he had coffee that he made before Shabbos. Just like people make tea before Shabbos. They take the sense and they put it into the hot water. So everything was made before Shabbos. Comes Shabbos, so you want to drink. Okay, you have this pitcher with the coffee that you made, and you want to fill yourself a cup of coffee. So he's saying over here that when you do it, you should be careful that there's on the bottom of the pitcher, there's laying over there the coffee, the ground coffee. So the ground coffee is psailus, and the water is the eichel. So he says you should be careful. This is the Pasha of the here. You should be careful to, as long as there goes the real flow. You know, when you have a full pitcher, yeah. So you start filling it up. All you see water. You don't see the psailus at all. But when you're getting close to the bottom, so over there's the psailus already. So over there you should be careful that to stop before the bottom. Don't go.
Some water.
What?
It says to leave some oichel with the psailus.
Yeah. But the question is, Levi asked the question, which is a part of the question. What's the problem? You're taking the water out of the coffee. So out of
the leftover water.
1 minute.
No, the schmutz is on the bottom.
It says to leave some water.
Okay.
Then it's not butter.
Okay, good.
Why you can't be butter? It's bar oichel mitach psailus.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, so let me explain. So I said off the cuff. I said if you could do things without butter, so why do with butter? The emes is this is the din in our Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. So what I'd like to do is the problem. This Shulchan Aruch over here, this print, that sieve is on 2 pages. Mm-hmm. So to make it quick, I have another Shulchan Aruch, an older print. It was called the Shtatina print. This was the Vilna print or the Vashra print. The Shtatina was printed It was printed about 150 years ago. So I made a few pages over here. So maybe you have to look it together, guys, but that's why it looks, the page is already brown already.
What sif?
The same, okay, you'll see Shin Yutes on the side. It's Yudches.
Oh.
Yudches. He says over here, Mutter Lares Benachas. You gotta pour like not give slowly.
Gently.
Slowly. So not that everything should pour at one time. Mikli lachavere, like we say, like from the pitcher to the cup. Kedei shehapsayles v'ashmorim yisharu b'shulei hakeli. In order that the no good part, the psayles should remain in the bottom. Ubevad, but shayizohe should be carful. Shekashayivsek hakiluach, when the flow will stop. You know, when you're getting umaschilin later nitzaitzes ktanis, and then there's small droplets
Start coming
that
along. The
coming
schmutz
out.
starts coming with it.
Hanishaishes ba'achreina that come out at the end. Mitoich hapsaigus. So you have at the end you have drops of water coming
together
out
with the psaigus.
from the psaigus. Okay. Azai then yavsik, he should stop. Bianicham in ashmarim, and he should leave the water, the droplets of water, leave it over there together. Don't take that part. Why not? He says, she'im la yasakain, if he wouldn't do this, these drops, mechichem shu baita. So it's baita. Avo betchilas ha'irul, if the last drops is baita, so the top flow is also baita. It had in it the shmarim was still there the whole time. He says, avo betchilas ha'irul, the beginning when you took that big flow, kishein psaigus nika, the psaigus not nika is lav baita. It's not baita. Okay? Now, so right over here, you have also again your question. Your question is that
Pouring the good from the bag.
that you're taking eichel, you take psaigus, right? So the ma'aseh is you have to look a little further in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, and in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch further, go to the bottom. Okay. You see in the middle it says it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 lines from the bottom or something. It says B'sim Shin Zayin, and then he says alta.
What sif is it?
In the same sieve.
Oh, in the same sif. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Alta. If he wants to eat it, he wants to drink the coffee right away. So then, ein tzarich laniach mimenu klum.
Oh.
Im achalav. V'chein amar mashke mekli lachaveda ein tzarich lahafsik kishayodem hanitzaitzes sherei muta livra eichel mashke mitach apsaidas. So Tana says the first part is talking when he's not drinking the coffee now.
Right.
The whole din. A bite of eichel mitach psaigus is only the alta, but so in the beginning he was talking where he's just preparing a coffee.
Yeah.
Later he'll have it at the end of the meal. I don't know what it is.
Right.
But so this din that it says over here that there's a concern with the nitzaitzes that come at the end from the water. That's when doesn't want to eat it, drink it right away, and then he says that if he writes the alta. So then, taka the din is that you don't have to worry about it. Because why? Because it's baita eichel mitach psaigus, and it's miyad.
Right. So the answer is that
He says, he's using a keli, and we said also has to be dafka biyad. So before to say the Rebbe, he goes further over here, and he says, "Ve'eina choshev by the bekli el kishemisanen besuda by bekfifa." If you take the Michael and you put it into a strainer, that's how you use the keli. Over here you're using your hand. You're pouring with your hand from the keli, but you're careful what you're doing. That's also it's not considered.
So the point here is it's because it's la'alter. There's no bar.
So the din over here, the din that the Kitzur Shulchan is talking is where it's not li'alter.
Right, and that's why it says to leave it over.
That's why it says leave over. But why? Because then there's a shayla, a different shayla in Baita. One of the dinim of Baita is that has to be one of the conditions. There has to be not a keli, has to be the altar, has to be oichel mitayv psailos. So when he says over this thing that he says over here that mashka hakofi sheyesh betachtisai hakofi mamish, the coffee itself.
Right.
He apsailos, that is the psailos. V'chein sham mashka sheyesh betachtisai shmorim or shap psailos kishamarin oisa, when you pour from that into something. You have to be careful. Not to take the whole, all the clean water.
2 words in here.
That's right. Ella yasher ma'at eitzer apsailas. And b'meila, so this it's felt a tzvei that it may not write delicious miyad. But if you write delicious miyad, there's no shayla. That
yeah, correct.
Now he goes further. Another din. V'cholov she humid. Now, today when you buy milk, so all milk is called homogenized. What's homogenized mean? In the milk there's a fat. Homogenized means that it's all mixed together. You don't see the fat. But I remember this. They used to buy a bottle of milk. On the top of the milk there was cream. Every milk has cream. How do they make butter from milk? How do they make cheese? It's because of that cream that's in the milk. Today they sell that separate. People buy a separate bottle of cream for a coffee. So now the question is you have the milk, and the milk has on top of it the smetana, they call it. Smetana means the cream. So what is over here the oichel and what's the psailos? So the oichel, when people drink, they don't want to drink the cream. The cream is too heavy to drink. So what they do is, what they used to do was either they would shake the bottle a lot, make it sort of homogenized, or they would pour off the cream. They would pour off the cream to get to the milk. So the cream is the psailos over here. It's not a psailos that you're going to throw out in the garbage. You're going to hold it, but they would take it off in order to get to the milk. So now he's saying, the Wasser, yeah. Shulchan Aruch says, right. So he says, "V'cholav shehumad." Another, what's the pshat shehumad? How do you get the cream on top? When you milk the cow, it came out milk. In the milk was cream. So you let the milk stand. And when you let the milk stand, so the cream goes up to the top. So the v'cholav shehumad also look like mashal u'mayla hanikra smetana, which is called cream, in order to get to the milk. Rak shetzorach lechol rak ma shetzorach lechol ato. No, hanikra smetana. Rak ma shetzorach lechol ato.
From the smetana.
No, he's saying that if you're going to pour, you have to pour only what you're going to eat now of the smetana.
וגם בזה גם בזה ייזהר, שלא ייקח הכל, רק שיעשה קצץ על החלב התחתן. You leave over a little bit, so then it's not considered that you took the psilus out of the, because you left some of the psilus there. So it's not considered by the psilus.
But he's talking about over here that he's going to eat that, he's going to drink that tzmetna.
So this really goes two ways. The question is if you want to drink if you want to use the cream, or the question is if you want to get to the milk. So if you want to get to the milk, so then the cream is the psilus. So you have to leave over a little bit of it, and if you want to take the cream, so don't take out the whole thing, because it's sort of like psilus mitach oichel. So leave over a little bit. Now, if you look again in Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, this is in here also. The Alter Rebbe learns it a little bit different, it seems like. If you look over here, go back over here. He said, go back to about 5 lines from the top of Yud Ches. V'lochen mutter likrek shumen hatzof al pi hachalav shekoiden smetana milmayla uk'shiagia somoch l'chalav yaniach kesas mimenu im hachalav. And v'hu, that when he's doing this, he said another thing. Zeh sheshumen zeh tzorach loichai by bayim. Because if you're not going to use it right away, so then you can't do it. Avo im eine tzorach lo osa l'trayach mishabes l'chol. It's a different thing. Now he says later, he skip 2-3 lines. Ve'im roitzu lochai le'alta, eine tzorach aniach mimenu klum, im hachalav.
Because he, like we said before,
right. So he's talking over here about the cream, using the cream
later on,
and the קיצור Shulchan Aruch, it seems it's talking about using the milk, but they both have the same idea, that the shaila is that if you need it for right away, it's not a shaila, and if you don't need it for right away, then you have to leave over a little bit of the others.
Aber interessant.
It's two separate things.
Yeah,
if he's going to use it today, that's not the altar. If he's going to use it today,
the altar means for the current meal. If you want to prepare something in the let's say 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you want to prepare for shalosh shudas, that's not called the altar. The altar means the current meal.
He's asking Bei Bayim, if he's going to use it Bei Bayim, then he's allowed to take out the smetana.
Right.
He's asking if this is la altar. This is not la altar. It's a separate thing. If it's Bei Bayim, it's not pselas.
He's talking about ticha over here. He's talking inside the din of ticha. Okay.
Aber interessant,
Yeah.
redt nicht da wegen Amol, die Milch, und übergekocht. Keiner hat nicht geusst die Milch von den Beime.
Okay.
Keiner. Noch dem ist gewinnt nach Saches mit.
So there is
Die Milch, was ich auch genutzt, wenn ich ihn gerne kriege.
Yeah.
there is a shaila. No.
Alle gekocht.
What the milk that you drank when you were as a child wasn't pasteurized.
Du kannst ein Tiro besser.
Pasteurization means cooking.
right?
The shaila is in halacha. There's another shaila. Is pasteurization considered bishul or not? So that's a bewusste Sache. That's a machlokes between Rabbi Dvorkin and the Tzelem Rav, b'negeya to wine. When it says on wine that it's mevushal, so there's a shaila. Wasn't mevushal 212, which is the shear, or was it 160 or 170, which is the shear of pasteurization? So the Moshe Feinstein held that pasteurization is considered bishul, and Ram Shimon was machmir about it. That's why when it came, there was a big tumult when it came the mashgichim were kashering factories. they didn't kasher with 212. And Rabbi Zalman Shimon used to insist that it should be 212, the water. Because he didn't hold that pasteurization is considered bishul.
So a guy that touched the wine.
So
By
I think if I remember correctly, I think that by grape juice, I think there's grape juice in plastic bottles and grape juice in glass bottles, and the difference is that the one that's in the glass bottle is a higher degree than the one that's in the plastic bottles is relies on pasteurization, and the other one is a higher degree. I don't know if it's 212, but it's a higher degree than pasteurization.
My son once was in Africa for Pesach.
No.
So they had to make a seder over there. The chef was a goy.
Yeah.
So he wanted to know about the thing. So he told him then that Carmel wine is cooked till 180. B'shasat chag, if don't have to worry about it because it's considered.
I told you.
Yeah.
I told you that's the chil between the plastic and the glass.